Bloomberg Stocks editor Dave Wilson. Dave, what are you looking at this morning?
Well, when you talk about the virus and the effect on markets, I mean, one stock that jumps out is Gilead Sciences.
Yep.
It's higher by 2.5% in early trading. The drug maker released study data showing the COVID-19 treatment remdesivir reduced the risk of dying from the virus by 62%. This is all presented at a conference, and Gilead allowed to sell remdesivir under what they call an emergency use authorization from U.S. regulators. You've got Netflix, also higher in early trading, up 2.5%. Goldman Sachs raised the public share price estimate for video subscription service by 24% to $670.
Conte reporting. Good morning. Good morning. Check in with the crooks on Wall Street.
It's in a Bloomberg survey. Now, Greenbrier said Chairman and CEO Bill Furman will retire in September 2022. So we're talking 2 years out. And he'll also extend a cut in his pay until then. And the most active stock in early trading
Surveillance. You have to surveil the scumbags on Wall Street. All right. Good morning. Marcus Conte reporting. We'll talk about an interesting subject today. We see violence erupting on the city streets. Do we see it? Is the mainstream media telling you that's what's going on? Well, a little bit, but I'm seeing it. Marcus Conte, exclusive reporting, has been prowling around on the streets, just looking, just observing, just taking the temperature of the alleged crime wave in our fair city, New York City. I'm not taking the temperature of Philly or D.C. or anywhere else, really. I'm just taking the temperature of New York City, and New York City seems to be reflective of a trend of increased violence on the street. Now, that's a scary thing because I think that I always say to myself, and then I try to say it into the microphone, that the evidence is in the details. The evidence of these things that we're talking about, violence on the street or intimidation by criminals, is not evident because the New York Post is telling us that it is, or some statistic tells us. It's you go out and you get a feel for it, right? You understand your community. An interesting story comes to mind, right? When we were kids, right? The biggest snitches. You think that the real snitches are guys that have no backbone, or they're afraid and they tattletale. No, the biggest eyeballs in the old Italian neighborhood were the old ladies. Right? They'd sit in the window and they knew everything. My grandmother knew everything about what was going on outside that window. She would watch. Right? And I would say, how did you know that? Like, she would tell me something about some kid, right, that she has no connection with, and she would know about him. And I would say, how did you know that? I said, because I sit and I watch, right? And then the old ladies talk, right? And that's called that's called serving your community, really. Right? It's an interesting story, right? But I think that so that's what I try to do. Because I'm just going to sing until I get some confirmation from y'all from you all that we're still here. I know it's been going on. I've been trying to shake. I've been trying to shake the buffer for a while. It's been going on, but I'm trying my best here. I'm trying my best here. So give me a 1 if you can hear me. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. I don't think anybody can hear me because I don't see any ones. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Vinny. All right, so we're back, I guess. I know. I'm aware of the problem. And I keep refreshing, and it's just detrimental, It's fucked up. It's like, this is what we deal with, right? This is what we deal with. I don't think this is a truth issue. I think this is the fucking too many people connecting to the internet in the city when it's 100 degrees and there's a storm approaching. Could be the problem. So fortunately, we missed the grandparents. No, see, I didn't. Marcus, unfortunately, we miss people of our grandparents' generation. This is nationwide, says Murray Terry. Damn, do we ever? Right? The great generation, my grandparents, man. My grandmother would have, if this was going on with all these people, with the breakdown in policing in the street, with coronavirus, with Wall Street meltdown, the greed on Wall Street, if all these things were happening, my grandmother would know the answer, and I couldn't agree more. It was a generation that kind of knew. They were connected to their community. And I think people have lost that. I think that's the fundamental problem in the for lack of a better term, the black community, is that they don't have a connection. They don't have a connection to their community, and they. I gotta get the guitar out because I gotta get the guitar. I don't know if we're in tune, but it's gonna be a long day because the buffering. I have to play guitar. This is the buffering song. Buffering because I can't sing. I'm buffering because I can't sing. My grandma would know the answer if she was here. Oh, grandma and grandpa. I miss them. This is the buffering song. Yeah, we are buffering. Connection to you. I've lost my connection to you. I got a buzzing string. You hear that buzz? I have lost my connection to you. The buffering song. The buffering song. Do try this. Cool. I'm gonna keep my cool. Oh, people say it's Goodman. Is Goodman putting a hex on me? Because he doesn't know how to report? He's a schmuck? Jason Juson. All right, so I'm trying my best here. To stay on top of the nasty buffering. Oh, it keeps dropping. It keeps dropping. It's not only you, Marcus. Same in other streams right now. Okay, Sassafras, thank you very much. It's not just me. I don't take it personally. It's not just me. I don't take it personally that I'm buffering. Oh, buffering. But it definitely makes you wonder, like what my grandmother said, right? So we'll try to do this. I don't know. I just got to bear with it, right? I just keep getting dropped signal all over the place. So anyway, So let's so Marcus Conte reporting kind of become a Patreon of this fine channel. When it's not buffering, it's really cool. But right now we just have to deal with the buffering blues, as Weevil Boy says. And the way you become a Patreon of this channel, you whack this button right here, the join button. You follow this chick's lead to the cowboy hat, right? And you become a Patreon for as little as $2 a month, or you hit the tip jar. And you throw some coin in the PayPal. So this is a great video. Hopefully it won't buffer and you get to see it. But this is how you're supposed to police. Check this shit out. It's brilliant.
Get on his neck now. Just tase him.
Get off his neck, bro. Fuck all that shit.
Watch it. It's a guy buffering. I'm trying my best here, mates. I'm trying my best here. I'm going to try one more time. Just let it pop on again. So here's the
Now, just tase him.
Get off his neck, bro. Fuck all that shit.
It's obviously
All right,
a
we
young
got
black
you.
man being arrested.
I got you. Now, we got. Now,
And the cop is having a hard time getting his hands behind him.
you need
Getting
some
the
help?
kid's hands behind his back because he doesn't trust the police. Why don't they trust the police? Fucking police kill them all the time. In their own.
We cuff him. Stay still.
So watch what happens. Right? So the camera's on.
Hey,
The
don't do
police
all that
are
resistance, bro.
trying to
Chill
choke
Chill out,
him.
man. They gonna put the handcuffs on.
Don't do all the resistance.
They go the handcuffs right there. Get the handcuffs right there.
We can't get that on. Yeah, he don't want to give us his arm, man.
He's lying.
Give me your arm, bro. Give me your hey.
Listen to what the guys are
Give me
saying.
your arm, bro. Give me your
Give me your arm, man.
So his homeboys are saying, give him his arm.
Look, man, record this. I'm gonna get his arm so they won't hurt him. Record this. I'm gonna get his arm. Look, I'm gonna get his
See
arm.
how they start choking him?
We got a knife on.
This is the way you do it.
I just don't want you to get hurt.
I'm sorry with the buffering.
Come on, I just promise to have him. Look, grab his arm. I don't want you to get hurt, man. I don't want you to get hurt, bro.
Cuff him to him. Let him move, man.
I just don't want him to get hurt.
This brings you should bring a tear to your eye. Right? His friends helped him cuff. It's no big fucking deal. Hey, give me sit up, man. Sit up. 500-pound cop got off his neck. Now, left to themselves, the police can't handle people. Right? There's your evidence. The police cannot handle the fucking community, right? The community is afraid of them, right? Just turn around, give them your hands. I think that was brilliant, man. I mean, these kids deserve a trophy. Whoever
Hold on, give me your arm, bro.
they're choking him, see the kid's hands, the cops are choking him
I
out.
just don't want you to get hurt.
And he's telling him, just give me your hands.
Look,
So we
grab
don't
his
get
arm. I don't want you to get hurt, man. I don't want you to get hurt, bro.
Cuff him to him. Cuff him. Let him move, man.
I just don't want him to get hurt. Thanks, guys.
That was pretty. That was I love that clip. Right. So just an update. If you, it's very hard to do right here because I know I'm going to get interrupted again by the buffering. I don't like to talk and nobody hears me. What's the point, right? That's why I used to. I may go back. You got to go back for a while and just make videos and then post them as a premiere because then the buffering can't happen if it's a premiere. This is a live stream glitch. Anyway, hopefully we'll live to see a smoother live stream in our lifetimes, right? That's what fucking YouTube should work on. So, date set for Jazlyn Maxwell's initial bail hearing and arraignment. Okay, so I had said it would be today, or the mainstream media had told us that it would be today. And that court date for Jazlyn Maxwell, the Epstein pimp, working with Epstein to pimp out young girls to rich guys, Jazlyn Maxwell will be at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. That's the 14th. Today is the Friday the 10th and the 14th. All right, so we're not going to be there until Tuesday, and then only at 1 p.m. And then she's not even going to be a video conference. So I don't know. The strategy would probably be to go inside and try to listen to what the fucking thing is saying. They're going to be looking at a video screen, and I bet the video screen it might be in a place where you can't even see it, and only the judges can see it. The judge and the lawyers could see it. So, but anyway, man. Anyway, we're going to keep rowing. I see the red lights are flashing. I see the red lights flashing. I can see the red lights flashing upon me. I am buffering. I am buffering really bad right now. Oh, I'm buffering so bad. So bad. I'm buffering bad. Oh, I am buffering so bad. And maybe someday we will figure out how not to buffer so bad. Killing you guys, huh? Oh, it's Conte reporting. So we saw that. So Jazlyn Maxwell won't be here. I think we're up and running again. I'm so sorry, man. So I want to talk about this. This is everything, right? So yesterday I was out in the field. I got a lot to talk about here. And I'm going to try my best to tell you what's going on. So yesterday there was this video, right? And this guy, I want to give you the background. So what I saw was I was standing across the street, and this says it all, right? This says all the things that we're going to talk about cash bail and violence on the street are evident in this clip right here, right? Because this is the shit right here. So we're out on the street, and this shit happens, right? This guy's fucking yelling. And then he comes back. Now, for the record, this had been going on for a while. If you didn't see this clip, watch it. I put it up yesterday. There was a lot going on before. I just happened to walk down the block, and I only caught the last portion of what this guy was doing. So this is the new New York. This is the new intimidation because there's no more cash bail, right? So you can do what's quote a non-violent crime, and they just let you right out the fucking door. It's pretty unprecedented in New York history. I was up at 34th Street in Times Square, and it really looks like the criminals are in. So yesterday, can you guys give me a 1 if we're up and running? Give me a 1 if this is even worth doing. Is the buffering so bad that you can't even understand what I'm saying? That's 1. Or 2, just keep rolling, Conte. Conte, keep rolling. Conte, keep rolling. Number 2 is Conte, keep rolling because we can hear most of what you're saying. 1 is forget about it, shut it down. And Vinny says 1, shut it down. Uh-oh. I know, it's rough. What's the consensus? Twos. Vinny, Vinny, you say shut it down? All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. This sucks. Sucks, right? You got to take the good with the bad, right? So what I wanted to say about this guy is there's other stuff going on that we didn't know. So when I interviewed the two gentlemen, right? When I interviewed these two guys, right? These guys right here, right? I talked to them, and they told me that this guy had tried to shake down a woman, right? That's what he did. An older couple. They were an older couple, and they tried to shake him down. Right? That guy tried to shake him down. And then what you don't see in the video is that the police arrive on the scene, right? You can see the woman in the background too. She was involved in it too. She was one of the store owners or waitresses or somebody. But what you don't see is the police arrive, right? And the video that I have, I showed the police. I will wait. I will wait. I will wait. I will wait. I will not be shut down. I will wait. I'm not recording. Harkview Cinema with the technical advice. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not simultaneously recording. But I do hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. So I think we're back. So again, I'm trying to. I'm trying to get through this, right? I'm just trying to get through this. So these guys call the police. The police arrive. Police watch a video of the guy tormenting pedestrians sitting down on McDougal Street in the Village eating. And it turns out that they do know they saw the suspect because they saw the suspect. They saw the video of the suspect. The two police officers, two white cops got out of the car. They looked at the video, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll find them." Right? And where did they go? Where did the police go? Did the police find them? No, not even 20 minutes later. I'm sitting in the park, right? I go back to Washington Square Park, and I'm hanging out with these a bunch of musicians. I have their clips up. I didn't put them up yet, but I was recording music in the park. And sure enough, that fucking crazy bastard, the guy who just tried to rob two old people on McDougal Street, is sitting right next to me. He comes over because we're playing music. We're singing, we're playing music, we're banging on the fucking drum, right? We're making music, right? We're just having fun. We're sitting in the shade. And this crazy fuck comes right over, right? Where's the police? Where's the police, right? Where is the fucking police? Is that, because that's not a violent crime and they'll just let him right out again? It is violent. You're disrupting business. If that's allowed, if that's tolerated, all of these restaurants that think that they're going to set up foofy little spots outside on the street, right, and service their customers, and you got hoodlums roaming the street with no consequences. No consequences. 90% of crime is being let back out onto the city streets. That is fucking crazy. That's really crazy. Now you say to yourself, well, the police are corrupt anyway, and they're arresting people that shouldn't be arrested. There's truth to that too, but there's also I don't really know. I don't really know the solution. I don't have the exact answer, but I can tell you that like this guy's scratching his head over here. So I want to just preface everything that I'm going to say based on the fact that New York City is kind of upside down right now over this issue. We're nipping it at the bud. If you're watching this show, right, you're hearing only statistics, right? I'm telling you what's actually happening. I'm telling you the how it's going to spread away from the trouble spots. Right now, the trouble spots look like very low income neighborhoods. I could tell you right now that drug sales are now, it's going to be open on the street again. You could already see it happening. Drug sales, marijuana it should have been legal a long time ago. But you're seeing, I don't know what kind of drugs people do today. I still, when in the 90s, it was heroin, bags of heroin and crack. I don't know what people take today. I don't know. I hear it's MDMA. I don't know if heroin is still on the street. I don't know if crack is still on the street. I have no idea. Right? So, but I can tell you that the drug buzz on the street, the thug lifestyle, has returned to New York City, and that is unprecedented. And we must find a reason why that's happening. It was already in play. It was already in place. It was to remove cash bail as a stipulation to being let out. If you're poor, you can't make cash bail. If you're rich, you can make $1 million bail. It doesn't matter. So that's part of the problem. We cannot blame Black Lives Matter or even the latest pandemic. This was already in place before all this collapse happened. And now it's just like throwing gas on the fire. So it is a significant problem. And I just want to talk more about it. I'm going to be out there. I'm looking around. It's dangerous work because, look, the guy that we filmed, this older guy, this older black guy living in the park, there's not much risk that he's going to see the video and know me. I could probably still sit right next to him and talk to him. But the younger generation, the young kids, the young thugs that know Twitter, that know Instagram, that know YouTube, if they see it, they're gonna know who I am. So I need to thread on kind of thin ice with this whole thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna probably record from a distance, if you know what I mean, right? So a lot will be done preparing for this weekend to change the reality on the ground. Mayor de Blasio. So the headline here is, de Blasio has no clue how to reverse the crime wave. He doesn't. They have no freaking idea how to do it. And the problem is, again, it's these criminals getting a free ride out of the jails, right? They break the law. They're criminals. All right, they steal, they rob, they beat people up, they sell this, they sell that they're not supposed to, right? And then they go to jail, right? And they're being let out in droves. So we now have an emboldened criminal element on the street, like I've never seen, like I haven't seen in, I don't know, maybe 30 years. Again, we're at the elementary stage of it. The seedlings are there. It's getting worse. The people that I've talked to, right? I have people that I talk to that I don't throw a camera in their face. I have credible, I guess, sources. I have credible sources all over the place. So sometimes, and sometimes I am the source. But I can't tell you that the element of this crime thing on the street, it must be addressed now. And is it because of cash bail? I do not know. I know I'm repeating myself because I'm trying to serious buffering problems. Serious buffering problems. I got to go back to the buffering song. Got to go back to the buffering song. No. We're back. I think we're back. So Blasio has nothing. So last night saw nearly 50 people shot, 10 fatally. Murders this year are running 27% larger than last year. Shootings are up a stunning 54%. Burglaries and auto thefts are likewise off the charts. What's also off the charts is the bullying, is the walking up to someone's table while they're eating and saying, "Give me your fucking money." "Give me some money, motherfucker." Right. "Well, I'm going to flip your fucking table over, you old cunts." That's a scary thing, right? You're not going to do that to me because I get up and I hit you in the head with the chair. Right? That's probably what will happen, right? If you did that to me. But punks don't do that, right? Fucking cowardly people on the street, cowardly criminals don't do that. They prey on old people that are scared, right? And yesterday those two guys stuck up for them. So anyway, so de Blasio has no idea what's going on. This is funny. This is just a side note. This is Roger Stone begging for his life, begging Trump to please forgive him for his crime.
Prosecuted because I was covering anything up for the president. I was prosecuted because I refused to bear false witness against the president. I refused to dissemble, as the prosecutors wanted, about numerous phone calls between myself and candidate Trump in 2016. So at this juncture, I am praying for justice. I am praying for mercy. But I've got to be honest with you, it's in God's hands. After
Roger Stone finding God after lying to Congress how many times, being a shill, being a fake news perpetrator, provocateur. I don't like this guy. I don't like him, Corsi. I don't like his whole crowd. I don't like all the fucks that pushed this fake bullshit. And here he is begging Trump, please, Mr. Trump.
Meeting and praying with Reverend Franklin Graham some months ago, I have reacquainted myself with my Catholic faith, my Christian faith, and I'm praying for the very best.
I don't know what Tucker said after that, but that's pretty fucking funny.
The Provident Loan Society.
So Roger Stone is begging Trump, please, pretty please, Donald, remember me? Remember me? So Bernie Sanders said some good stuff, right? So Bernie Sanders, you know what? I don't even want to play this because fuck him. Here's Bernie Sanders towing the party line. Listen to how absurd this is.
I know today there were these sort of working groups, policy committees that some folks from your presidential campaign staff had been engaged in with the Biden staff. They announced some of the results of that. I saw a poll today I thought was very interesting that showed, I think it was 87% of Sanders supporters, 4% supporting Trump. And basically the picture it painted, and this is across the various candidates who are in that very crowded primary field, was a very unified Democratic Party, a very unified electorate in defeating Trump. Is that your sense of where things are right now?
Absolutely. Look, I think every person who voted for me, and I think for the other Democratic candidates, fully understands that Donald Trump is the most dangerous president, if not in the modern history of our country, then in the overall history of our country. And that it is absolutely imperative that we come together and defeat him badly. I was glad to work with the vice president in forming 6 separate task forces, which had some of the most knowledgeable people in the country coming together to deal with education and climate change and healthcare and the economy and criminal justice and immigration reform.
So here's Bernie Sanders coming together with Joe Biden to promote Sleepy Joe Biden for president of the United States.
And these folks, needless to say, people who represented the progressive movement had a different perspective on things
The progressive movement had a different perspective
than did Biden's people. But there was serious discussion and I think a real honest effort to come up with a compromise. And I think the compromise that they came up with, if implemented, will make Biden the most progressive president since FDR. It did not have, needless to say.
It's hard to imagine. It's incredible to listen to that. All right. I'm gonna kill this. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna have to kill this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill this stream. All right, so it's just not working out. It's way too bumpy. The stream is way too bumpy. The stream is way too bumpy. Should I bail out of this? Tell me again. Is this even worth doing? It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. I'm being frustrated. I'm getting frustrated. So Bernie Sanders. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna kill this. All right, we're out. We're out. Stick around. Want me to stick around? I don't know. You want me to stick around? Do you want me to stick around? Give up. Don't give up. All right, I'll stick around. Don't go away. Stay. Let's stay. Okay, I'll stay. All right, it's fine. I know it's fine. All right. Okay, I'll take your guys' advice. I'm just going to play through it, right? I don't know what I'm seeing is accurate or not, but anyway, I just wanted to point out that Bernie Sanders is just totally, I mean, he's totally lost touch. And I also want to say about Bernie Sanders that Bernie Sanders is one of the main salesmen for eliminating cash bail in the U.S. And it started here in New York, and Cuomo signed it, and everybody signed it, and they emptied out the jails under de Blasio. So the progressive wing, where the fuck are you now when New York City is on fire? When the criminals the gangs are just getting going. I'm telling you, this is what's happening. Gangs are just starting up, right? I never felt conscious of pulling out my equipment anywhere in New York City lately, especially on the subways. Now, what's going to happen? You're going to have gangs prowl the subway and rip people off in the car while it's moving, and then the door opens and then they leave, and then, you know, that's not violent. It's not what is violence? Violence is when you intimidate someone to say, "Give me your fucking money or I'm going to kill you." And there's 4 thugs standing over you, right? That shit is like, you know, that. Okay, so and again, not to agree in any way whatsoever with Hillary Clinton or the Clintons or Giuliani to that extent. But in the mid 90s, when Hillary Clinton said that we have these super predators roaming around ripping people off, that's what she was talking about. This is what she's talking about. Right? And that was a real phenomenon, although she got shit for that because she's fucking Hillary Clinton and she's a dirtbag. But the fact is that the predatorialness of people on the street was very real in the 90s. I lived through that. I lived through that as a kid, and saw it quite a bit. Right, felt it and lived it. And so Bernie Sanders was part of that stuff. Robert De Niro says coronavirus has decimated his finances. Fuck you. So he cut down. He made $3.5 million last year, and he cut his wife's kickback from down to 50,000 from 100,000. This guy's fucking full of shit, right? So out of touch. Billionaires, so out of touch. I made $3.5 million in 1 year. That's not talking about any of his other assets. And then he cuts his wife's alimony from 100,000 down to 50,000. And he's complaining that coronavirus has decimated his finances because he didn't make as much on his restaurant. These guys they're fucking so out of touch, man. They're so out of touch. You don't even see what I'm seeing. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. You're looking at me talking. I'm all mixed up right now. So there's the article I was just reading. Robert De Niro says coronavirus decimated his finances. A fucking full of shit, idiot. And here's another one. Here's something that plays into the predatorial aspect of what we're talking about. Good. I think we're good right now. We're good for now. Is predatorial aspect. Son of slain California doctor said dad was asking for directions when he was shot. Wow. Right. So, roadside robbery. A San Francisco Bay Area doctor who was on. Now, this is reaching a little bit. I don't know if it had a direct correlation to it, but you know what somebody told me yesterday when I was talking to people sitting on the bench under the tree talking to people. Guy said, he said, you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is with these people walking around here? He says 60% of them are on meds. And half of them ain't taking them. We have a serious problem in this country. We have a serious mental health problem in this country. What causes it? Well, I speculate that it's people not knowing how to live. It's food-drug interaction. It's genetics to some degree. There's more people in this life now. There's 7 billion people, and in that pool of people, there's some people that are mentally unstable. And knock on wood that you're at least stable most of the time. People would argue that Conte's crazy, that I'm crazy. I'm psychologically nuts. I'm not. My life is not unmanageable. I'm not roaming around the streets. I'm out there in terms of the arts. I reach for shit that people don't reach for. That's different. That's a different kind of crazy. Artistic crazy and violent crazy are, I believe, two different things. Right? So what you're seeing is this pool of people that ended up in prisons and in jails because of a bad system, because of a system not knowing how to deal with them, puts them in jail and incarcerates them. And when you're in Rikers Island, they'll give you any drug in the world. If you're on, whatever drug you want, they'll give it to you. Pharmaceutical. You can buy stuff too, but it's mostly pharmaceutical. They'll give you phenobarbital, anything that shuts your fucking mouth. They'll give you Thorazine, they'll give you methadone, whatever you want, right, in jail. So we have somebody says, Sassafras says, we have overprescribed. We have an overprescribed community. That's what's going on, right? And I guess I got to argue now that jail is not the best place for this mentally challenged group. We need another solution, right? And of course, it's an economic problem because if you let people out of jail, what happens? If you let people out of jail, I'm tired of looking at this guy. There's two other pieces here. So the Democrats gave their money, gave the stimulus money to spouses, got millions in PPP loans, these loans that they're throwing around, right? The Democrats are caught giving millions of dollars to their spouses, right? That's fucked up, right? The money, the stimulus money, right? They're paying each other, right? They're doing it again. Criminals, right? What about these criminals? What about these criminals, right? That they, why not shift the focus from petty crime and call that mental illness, and then go after the real criminals? Put Pelosi in jail, put Clinton in jail, put all the real fucking hardcore criminals. The Goldman Sachs, Mnuchin in jail, put them in jail. That's what I'm trying. Because what I have to say is so important. That's right. Sassafras says, defund the oligarchs. Defund the oligarchy. Oh. What I'm trying to say is that when you let a criminal out, say if a guy is homeless or he has nothing, right, and you arrest him, and he sits in Rikers Island for a month or 2 months, and he has no family, he has no friends, he has no connection with the outside world. The only thing he knows is how to rip people off. He knows how to sell drugs. He knows how to steal a car. He knows how to go into a store and boost and steal enough food just to eat. He knows how to intimidate people to get out of his fucking way. He knows how to jump the turnstile. He knows how to panhandle aggressively. That's what criminals know how to do. So if you put them in jail, right, and they lose even that, right, for the moment, they lose their income, they lose that. So when you let somebody out of fucking jail, you just open the door and say go, or someone who's continuing to repeat that same behavior, the behavior doesn't change. They just keep doing what they're going to do. Right? Criminal doesn't. What do you think a criminal is going to do? You think, okay, so let's look. You open up the door of Rikers Island and you let out all of the bad guys, 90% of the bad guys. Let them out. What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to go and they're going to get go pick up the newspaper and go find a job and start working and becoming productive citizens in society? No, they're going to go right back out and do what they're doing, more so now because they are emboldened. They are emboldened. I'll have to do this video again at some point and talk about this stuff because it's very important. So we're gonna try today, though. We're gonna try. So here we go. Hope you guys are having a good time in the chat because I'm fucking miserable right now. I'm getting hacked and chopped down at every fucking turn. I don't even know what I'm seeing anymore. I don't know if it's streaming, if we're not streaming. What the hell do I know, man? Fucking shit is crazy, man. It looks like I'm still there. Maybe I should look at this thing and see if I'm still there. So anyway, so this is the evidence, right? So New York's upcoming bail reform. This is an old article from December. It's upcoming. The law went into effect on January. Listen to this. The state's new bail reform law should significantly reduce pretrial incarceration levels, but some questions remain. Listen to this. They don't know what the effect is going to be. They just think it's a good idea. Yeah, the poor blacks in jail, we have to let them out because Black lives matter. That's the argument. That was the argument coming into now. But now we're starting to see where are all the pretty white kids, the prim and proper, Black Lives Matter kids when you need them, right? Why don't you go protest the violence behind 34th Street, right? Ripping people off, right? That was your movement that started. They're coattailing your movement. Right? So a new bail law goes into effect on January 1st in New York. It will eliminate pretrial detention and cash bail as an option in an estimated 90% of arrests. For the remaining cases, judges will maintain the option of cash bail. Do you see what I just read? An estimated 90% of arrests. So if you get arrested and it's something enough to merit bail, like, I don't know, ripping somebody off, going into a store and stealing a fucking gold chain and running out the door, as long as it's not violent, as long as it's not an armed robbery, but what qualifies? So here you go, 90% of arrests. For the remaining cases, judges will rent. As the effective date nears, some have raised concerns leading to the introduction of legislation to roll back the bail reform package to put a memorandum on implementation. Here are the facts about the law. Right? So for most misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies, aggravated harassment, I think, is a misdemeanor. Right? So you can aggravatedly harass somebody, and that's okay, and they let you right out. Nonviolent felonies, most misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies, cash bail is no longer permitted. Right? This is a big problem. This is one of the. You want to put your finger on the problem why this is happening out in the street, and the police don't like it because they got to deal with it. Right? They're gonna arrest this guy today, and in a few hours he's gonna go through processing. They're gonna fingerprint him, and they're gonna let him right out the door. He's probably not even gonna spend the night anymore. He's gonna get what's called a DAT, a desk appearance ticket, for months later when the courts even open, if they open. And he's gonna have a stack of them if he even shows back up, and then he'll pop a warrant. And what are you gonna do? Go round up all the bad criminals, or are you just gonna let it go? Because you're gonna. What's cheaper? Now you got to bring these people to trial, right? Without the bail. See, you catch my drift. So this law, this law is causing the fucking problem. Right? Let's read this one. New York tried to get rid of bail, then the backlash came. I think the backlash is just starting, right? The national drive to reduce bail and prison populations is getting an unexpected nudge from the coronavirus pandemic, as many cities and counties across the country try to reduce exposure to the virus in crammed, unsanitary jails. New Orleans, some city judges are reducing some bail amounts. So I don't know much about any place else but New York right now. Let's see what the Times is saying. Why abolishing bail for some crimes has law enforcement on edge? It's the same thing. So Democrats are hailing the new law, saying New York's old bail system punished the poor. Remember, the politicians are not on the street. They're not walking through Times Square, or they're not riding their bike up 34th Street, or they're not sitting in a outdoor cafe on McDougal Street. They're buffered and they're away, and they're out of touch. That's why you come here, because I put you in touch with what's happening. So this is a really fucked up problem. I'll leave it there. I didn't really have much to say about it, other than there is an absolute correlation between the crime we're seeing on the street. It's a perfect storm. The crime we're seeing on the street, starting to happen. This old New York starting to come back, where criminals are empowered, is a result of this cash bail rule, where you can commit a crime and you're right out the door with a desk appearance ticket, because we can't hold you without bail. We can't set bail because that is deemed detrimental to the poor. So we're just going to open the door. And all that criminal has to do is say, I'm innocent. I didn't do it. And then you're going to have to prove it in a court of law. You're going to have to spend the money to try the guy, and he's going to walk around, he's going to come in, and you're going to have to prove your case. And most of the times the courts can't prove a case because they don't have the evidence. They use the holding the guy in jail and getting him to take the plea. They can't do that anymore. So it's a different situation. Right? So what are you going to do with all these mentally challenged people roaming around the streets that should be on medications that aren't on medications, right? And so on. So Mark's Conte reporting. It's getting worse, right? So if you were ever in New York, Marcus, you forgot 2 tickets to Mets game. I got 2 tickets to Mets. You forgot 2 tickets to the Mets game. Yeah, exactly. So Bridget says, Marcus, don't forget, Marcus, that the progressives want to somehow prove Giuliani wrong on broken windows theory of policing. even though everyone saw it work. Yeah, I got to agree with you there. Giuliani is being proven right. I had a conversation with this guy, Vinny, yesterday morning. Not Vinny DiMartini in the house. Good morning, everybody in the house. I really, Bill West is here. Everybody's here. I apologize for this. It's just very hard to continue when it's red and you know what you're saying is not being heard or half of it's being heard. It's very difficult. So thank you for bearing with me. I think we got through it. I'll try to cover this subject again in another video so that it gets out there so that we know what we're talking about. The two people in that video yesterday that one of them reached out to me, so they're aware that video is up, and I'll send them. I won't send them this because this is a junk video, but I'll keep them abreast of what's going on. They haven't reached out to me legally or in any way if they wanted to press charges or whatever that is, but this is the real concern over here, right? What do we do with the mentally challenged? Right? Are we going back to the gladiator days where you can't flash anything? Oh, I was saying that Giuliani was right. I got to agree that Giuliani was right. I was talking to Vinny the cop. Sorry. So Vinny the cop, not Vinny DiMartini in the chat, but Vinny the cop walking around Brooklyn. And I had a conversation with him yesterday, and he said that the police are 100% right because he was an ex-cop. Maybe he was a cop. I don't even know. Still is a cop. But he's a homeowner, and he said that the police, that's what they do. It's like when the police approach you, your job is to succumb to them and just do what they tell you to do. And I just fundamentally disagree with that. I think there's that problem of how the police do their job. But there's also an argument that it does work to clean up quality of life crimes. That's what we're talking about. These are quality of life crimes where you're walking around and suddenly your purse gets snatched, right? Or thugs come up on you and say, I like your cell phone, man. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me that cell phone, right? Like, that's robbery, right? These sorts of crimes, the criminals feel empowered. And I think that what Giuliani and certainly what Vinny the cop yesterday was saying is that this austerity, this heavy hand of the police actually works. It does work, but to what extent does it work? At what expense? When the whole prisons are full of mentally ill, predominantly young black men, right? And crazy people, and crazies. At what expense does it work? Do we have to break people's legs and choke people to make examples? Do we have to take our boot? Do the police have to take their boot and choke and kill people as a message? Do we have to lock people up because they can't make bail and torture them in jail? What if they were innocent? Isn't every man, a woman, and child have the right to a fair trial? Don't we have a right to a fair trial? Don't we have a right to a fair trial? But if you can't make bail, you'll sit in jail for your crime for a month before your date even comes up. And then when you get to the desk, they say, oh, it's time served because you already did your month. And they don't even, and there'll be no record of it, right? But they don't even want the conviction. They just want to get you off the street. You see what I'm saying? They want to get the criminals off the street. But now that you've eliminated cash bail, you've created a really a fucking monster, if you ask me, because you see the point that the criminals have no consequence. They can break the law with impunity. They could be arrested and they must be released. 90% of the time, they must now be released on their own reconnaissance, or whatever that word is, reconnaissance, on their own word, that they will return to court. Right? And that's what you get. Right? So now you have, so when you look out, when you come to New York and you stroll by Times Square and you see tourists getting hassled by crews of, gangs of people that look like they just got sprung from an insane asylum in a jail, guess what? They did. And when you see the police twiddling their thumbs and not investigating and not doing anything about it, well, you already know why, because they're not allowed to. They're no longer allowed to do what they do. So you have a poorly trained, it's really a perfect storm. You have a poorly trained police staff that all of their tactics are so vile and so aggressive and so unnecessary that they don't even know how to police the streets. In addition to, all of the criminals are now right in their face taunting them because, motherfucker, you're going to arrest me. I'll be right back. I'll be right back on the street. They're saying, right? They're empowered. So it's pretty fucked up. You know what I'm saying, man? So anyway, man, Mark's got this report. Yeah, man. So thank you everybody for bearing with me today. Mark's Conte reporting. 2 days take is here. Bebop, thank you very much. Bill West. Bridget is here. Bridget, thank you very much for dropping by. Chris Minogue. George's son, we have no idea who George is. Heartview Cinema, Mondays at Heartview Cinema, Monday evening. If you watch Heartview Cinema, watch a movie night. Enjoy it. His Lamb, Raynal, J. Nall. What's up, man? Sorry, butchered your name. James the Weaver. Jason Walsh is here. Jim Gerard, how are you? Jim Gerard. Judy Zinchid. Hi, Judy. Hello. Liz Rivard. Tolito Briganti. Sassafras. Hello, Sassafras. And Spacebar. Susie Q. Vinny D. Martini on the wrench. Thank you very much. If you got timed out, guess what? You're a dick. Weevil Ball. What's up? Andrew Lewis here too, and Will's Big. Thank you guys for joining me. And I'm gonna try my best to recover the subject because I think a lot of it got butchered out. And that's all we can do. That's all we can hope for. Is please, you two, be good to us. Please, you two. So get out there today and talk to people, man. Talk to people, wake people up. Don't just come here looking for me to wake people up. Don't come here because Conte's out on the street waking people up. Get out and talk to people, learn and understand people. Get behind the mask. If you see people walking around with that mask on, get behind it. See what people think. Thanks, everybody.
It looks like Europe is trying to follow suit. So, a lot of that is out there. So the bigger question becomes, what happens with the vaccine, with other potential treatments for the drug, or for the virus. There's a lot to get
today with great interest about how defined pension funds have way more impact on this market than some of the actors that you might think about. I guess particularly in the liability-driven parts of the market, but also in equities. Any sign that they might get active?
It's always a hard one to kind of get your head around in terms of what they're doing to move money. That said, one thing is for sure. So the assumptions that these funds are making when it comes to their returns over time, you have to argue are too optimistic in a lot of cases, given the fact that bond yields are so low. And they have to be able to respond